car and we go on this date. He did end up paying, which was very nice. But anyways, you know, we're on the jet ski and we're in the middle of the water. I was kind of weirded out because I didn't think that we would have to be that close with each other. Like for part 2. Part 2 about why I will never go on a date ever again. So like I said, he takes us to the beach, we get on the jet ski, and it's just 2 of us on one jet ski, which I was low-key uncomfortable about because I thought that we were each going to get our own, so there would be no touching involved. And after the shit that he pulled, I definitely wish that I had my own jet ski. Boys that they like saying that they were talking to other people. And then of course my ex-best friends got mad and then they started texting me about it, saying, oh, why are you lying, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, honestly, I just think it's really wrong for you to try and play these boys who actually have feelings for you. Yes, I know I was a little crazy, but who isn't? Anyway, so then I decided to get my mom involved because I had been friends with these girls for a while. So my mom knew their parents very well. So I told my mom I was really worried about them because they were starting to get into really bad stuff and hanging out with the wrong crowd. So I couldn't be friends.
8 emojis in a row, and just for like giggles. And then above it is my high school and like my sports and blah blah blah. She has the exact same thing just with her sports, and then the exact same line of emojis, like in the exact same order. And then I go look at her highlights and they are all named the exact same thing besides the ones I have for sports. But like the one for my boyfriend that's up, she had the same name, her boyfriend used the same songs. And I was like, how long has this been going on?
Dress up, I'm gonna take it every time. Put on this cute outfit. I'm wearing these heeled boots that I have that are like 4 or 5 inches tall. And I was like, that might be a little much for a first date. But this guy said he was like 6'1". And then when we were texting, he was talking about how he played basketball and was really good at it. So I didn't really think much of it. Fast forward, I get to the restaurant. He said he was already there. He already had a table for us. So I go inside and meet him. He stands up from the table and gives me a hug to greet me. Immediately, I was like, damn, this bitch lied about his height. He is short as fuck. Like, I was towering over him. Which I'm not gonna lie, was kind of annoying because
again, don't really know why she was there. But whatever. He gives us his little card with his number on it and our case number, and I go about my day. By go about my day, I mean I then finally make it to my sweet treat. I got my rolled ice cream in the end. I did. However, these stories gets much more complicated from here. The next day, I explained to my father what the hell happened the previous night, and he is not having it. He's like, I'm not gonna pay for the damage to your car that a drunk man caused when he hit my teenage daughter.
And I realized that I am blocked. So I'm thinking, what the fuck? Why does he have me blocked? So I told my friend that he blocked me, and she goes, it's probably because he saw what you did in the laundry room. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's no fucking way that he knows. Because there was a door that led to the outside in the laundry room, there were cameras in there. So everybody saw this video of me. People were posting it on their Finstas, posting it on their Snapchat stories. It was so fucking embarrassing. Not to mention the bitch that I hate who lives next door showed my parents the fucking... And I wore spandex under because I hated not being able to move around. Well, after our field trip, everybody's jumping around on the bus, you know. I don't care what I'm doing because I have shorts on under my dress. And after school that day, I get a text from one of the popular boys. And he goes, I'm really physically attracted to you. And I was like, oh, same, like, period. And he was like, wanna hook up tomorrow? And I was like, during school? He goes, yeah, I have a place where we can hook up. And I wasn't really experienced with boys. So I was like, fuck it, if I'm gonna experience.
Especially because I've got my overdraft to pay. I'm earning such a low salary. Yeah, like I said, things got really, really bitter and it kind of ended really badly. Like we stopped talking because of it. So fast forward to my birthday. She sends me a message saying, happy birthday, I hope you have a lovely day. And I responded saying, thank you. Just wanted to be polite, but I had absolutely no intention in wanting to be friends with her, because when I tell you she was so nasty during those earlier messages, that
I just flipped the switch.
Is a no-fault state. Had no clue what the fuck that meant. Basically, even though I'm not at fault for it, my insurance has to cover me. This man does not have to pay for any damage to my vehicle or my fucking well-being. Hello? Like, I went through mental turmoil. Like, rude as fuck. So now I'm left with a car that has about $1,000 worth of damages to it. Yay! It will take 4 days to repair it. Amazing! Luckily, insurance will fully cover it because, again, I did
hide them there. Well, one of the girls' aunts posted something on Facebook saying that both of them were missing. And soon, the news made an article that literally said, drug addict and her friend gets kidnapped. They went missing for like 6 days, and on the 22nd of June, they were found. But now they won't stop bragging about how fun it was to get kidnapped. And that is why, still to this day, I absolutely despise these girls.
And Emma did not like that. And Ethan was honestly the best boyfriend ever. Never saw any red flags or anything like that. So fast forward, Ethan and I have been dating for 4 months. Well, winter break rolled around, and you had a choice to just take the day off, or you could stay and help the school clean up and stuff like that. So Ethan and I decided to go help at the school, and he was just acting super different. It wasn't like cheating or anything like that, but something was off. Like, he would tell me to go through his phone, but the weird thing was is he always deleted his messages with Emma. Well, the one day Emma sends me a video of Ethan making out with some girl.
So about a week goes by and Leo wouldn't even look at me. But him and Jake were completely fine, like it was when I was in the trio. And then it hit me. Both of these guys were super feminine. So what if the reason that Leo didn't want to be my friend was because he wanted Jake to himself? So at this point, it was the end of the year and we went on this trip to like a theme park all together. And
So he literally like pulls us out of the back of Sephora and we just start walking away. And on the way out, all like the people are literally so mean. They're like, "You're a great father." And I was like, "Yeah, actually he is, because you didn't arrest us. Like, you have no reason to keep us here." And they were just so mean. But then right when we were about to leave, like the literal cops, like the real cops, were all standing outside. Like, they were just standing outside the Sephora, like 4 of them. They like literally handcuffed us.
What the fuck is your name? Like, is he cheating on me? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm his daughter. She said, no, you're not. He showed me pictures of his daughters before. Like I said before, I wasn't in any family photos. Like for part 3. Part 3 about the crazy ass girl that my dad was having an affair with. So like I said, she comes over, she sits down. She thinks she's confronting me about being just some random girl that my dad's cheating on her with. And then, like I had said earlier, I was not in any family photos because I had lived with my grandma for years. So she was like, it was 4. I got over there and I was like, when were you going to tell me you had a girlfriend? Literally, this comment made me want to throw up. He goes, what do you mean? I thought you knew. So I was like, no, I actually didn't. And he goes, so does that mean you don't want to come over anymore? He goes, I really liked you, and I was going to break up with my girlfriend for you. Which I know this is so bad, but that made me happy because I had the biggest crush on him. But then I just left. And the girl that he was dating was a senior.
Why did it just go up so much?
Chicken? Yeah, I got it right. Oh, another fill in the blank. Skibbity? Yeah! I'm so good at this game. Honey, you know all the fill in the blanks you've been filling out are words that are going to be sent to your soulmate, right? Honey! Yeah? Yeah? Okay, good. You know what it's used for then. I don't know.
And so we obviously still didn't believe them. Like, we just thought they were pulling like a good prank. And so Millie lifts up the metal like door and we see brick. Like, we're not at a level. We're not like stopped at a level because you could only stop it at levels. And we're like, holy shit. So like the buttons aren't working for the girls anymore. They can't bring us back up to the level we're at. And we are just like panicked. We're in this tiny little box and we're all just like crammed in there and we're like, holy shit.
If you want to lie about your boyfriend, that's all fine. But you lied about me. You lied about me. I didn't do anything to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Leave it. Little bit, leave it. I don't want to hear it. Next day comes, she's still messaging me, I'm sorry. I'm not having it. I'll go and get my hair done. T-1 day before the trip. I said, listen, I'm willing to put my pride aside and squash my beef for these 5 days. I'm not going to chat to you like that, but we have to literally sleep in the same house. I was shitting my
out tonight. And I would text her back and I would be like, sorry, I can't. I already have plans with Jared. So this made her really upset, like for part 2. Part 2 about why you just can't bring some of your friends around your boyfriend. So like I said, she was getting very upset with the fact that she would ask me to make plans last minute and I would tell her that I'm busy with my boyfriend. And this went on throughout Jared and I's whole relationship. And it wasn't like I would ignore her. I would still hang out with her. I just wouldn't go and party and stuff like that because I respected my relationship. She would also always ask me to not bring my boyfriend to these parties, and that's another reason why I wouldn't go. So the one night she's like, listen.
The previous owner had papered every wall and ceiling. Removing it took ages, but was oddly satisfying, kind of like peeling skin when you get sunburnt. I started peeling the paper away and discovered that under a corner section of paper in every room was a person's name and a date. Curiosity got the better of me, and one night I googled the names. I discovered that the person was actually a missing person, and the missing date matched the date.
Stupid my style was, or whatever the fuck. Like, she literally wanted me to know how unimportant she thought I was. Like, it was her fucking mission. And that's like a dumbass little thing girls will do if they're like jealous of you, or they give you like I wanna be you vibes, is they will purposefully just gas up every single person except for you, especially if they think you're like the prettiest person in the friend group or whatever. Not saying I fucking was, but definitely she thought I was, because she made it her goddamn mission to make me feel unimportant.
I'm just gonna like brush my hair, and yeah, that's the hairstyle for today, y'all. Something calm, you know, something new. Actually, I never tried like the slick back over here, but yeah. Y'all, I need to go. Oh my god. I keep saying that, but I'm really just gonna keep taking my time. Like,
my gym teacher's wife found out that he was having an affair with me. So like I said, his wife was supposed to be gone the whole night because she was at the bar with her friends and they were supposed to get in a hotel. So he invited me over. So we went swimming in his pool, then we did the nasty. Well, a few hours later, him and I were sitting on the couch watching a movie. And his wife kept calling him. But he just kept ignoring it, saying that she was fine and he didn't want to answer the call and ruin our time together. So we go upstairs, lay down to go to sleep. And it's like 4 a.m. at this point. So I shit you not, literally an hour later, after this I probably should have distanced myself, but he apologized and we became friends again. That was sign number 1. Sign number 2, his huge change in attitude. 1 second he would be extremely rude to me, and then he would be this really sweet and caring guy, and his apologies were the best. So it was really hard not to forgive him. He was like a master manipulator. Number 3, we only talked whenever it was convenient for him. Like seriously, we would never talk, unless he needed something, like for part 2. Part 2 about my toxic ex-best friend. I think we left off on sign number 3.
You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad.
that's led me to here. So, but anyway, so since it's New Year's Eve, we plan to hang out for New Year's Eve because we have every New Year's Eve. So why wouldn't we this one? So for New Year's every year, me and my boyfriend have done like the grapes under the table. I don't know if it's actually real, but we just have done it anyways because, I don't know, we just have. And then obviously we say like our New Year's resolution, what we're hoping for.
I just felt like it was always a competition between me and you. Story time about my toxic ex-boyfriend that I met in therapy. Little background information. I was a part of this therapy group where you would go every week and talk about your feelings. Well, I saw this really cute kid, so I wrote down my Snapchat and gave it to him. He added me back, and then we started dating like a week later. And for the first 2 or 3 months, everything was going smooth. And then he became really toxic and controlling. Like, he would always go through my phone. And any guy that
You all good? And he was like, oh, I'm just like hungover, like I'm just not thinking properly. So yeah, I completely let that slide. And then when he kept coming over to mine to just like, you know, stay the night in the next few weeks, he would always act really weird around like my stepsister. Like whenever he would just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom or something, or like on his way to shower, he would always like stop by her door.
Well, I was wrong because on the last night of house sitting, we all decided that we were gonna get drunk. And my sister made sure that I got more effed up than everybody else. I ended up actually getting alcohol poisoning and I almost died. But she didn't care. She was too focused on sleeping with the new guy. The worst part of this is they started dating and my mom was on her side. It's been 3 years and I'm still trying to forgive her and my family. Storytime about why you should never get romantically involved with someone that you work with. So a little background information, I was working at one of the largest discount retail stores in the US, and about her and him used to be close whenever him and I were dating. And I didn't think anything of it until she called him and she kept telling him to come outside of his house so we could fight him. And I'm telling her to stop, but she just keeps laughing the whole time and she always does shit like this. And I was tired of being pulled into shit like this because then I got named the psycho stalker girl. So then I find out that after she went home that night, she texted my ex with this whole elaborate story about how I was the one who made her drive to his house and say all that shit. So fast forward, her and I toxic ex-boyfriend story time. So I was a junior in high school, and I had just gotten out of a 4-year relationship with this one guy. Well, I started to see him date around, so I thought I should do the same. I started dating this new guy who was known as the biggest player. Since I just got out of a long-term relationship, we decided to take things slow. We both went to different schools. So we both had separate proms. And of course we both asked each other. So his prom came around first, so we got a shore house with his friends. And before we left, he bought me 2 dozen
bunch of like Summer Fridays and Clarence and like Charlotte Tilbury yesterday, and she was like, no girl, like when you left it was like dead. And I was like, okay. Okay, wow. Great. How am I supposed to explain that the reason that there was a robbery was because a girl called me pretty, and I was just like, have fun shopping. They were real professional. I would want to say that.
I heard we're talking about things that our exes did and we stayed, and I have some good ones, so buckle up. Some of y'all might look at
text back. Well, 4 months after all this happened, I soon find out that he got a new house in North Carolina with his new wife, and they have a daughter on the way. Story time about how my bank might have ruined my chances of going to an Olivia Rodrigo concert. So little background information, in December I got tickets to Olivia's concert. I thought it would be the perfect Christmas gift for my sister and I to go to California and go to her concert. And I got 2 floor seats. So I was super excited when I gave her the tickets. We were both like screaming, you know, that we were going to be going to
It was bubble gum, so I had to chew it. Taste me how to duck, taste me how to duck.
Joking. But I wasn't joking and neither was he. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? He's like, wait, so like all those events you go to, she goes there to manage and help with the event stuff. And I was like, no, the most recent event, because she was obsessed with wanting to buy a house at the time at the age of 19. I was like, all right, get to your bag, sis. But so the specific housing seminar thing she wanted to go to was, I think Matthew Bridges was doing it with some solicitor. So I'm there sitting here listening.
Yes, of course I do. Am I fully convinced that I will probably end up getting a boyfriend if I get skinny? Unfortunately, yeah. Which, even if I did have a guy interested in me, I have high standards. Like, I want a man who doesn't say the N-word 5 billion times a day. I want a man that doesn't support dump. I want a man that doesn't, like, is loyal, is chivalrous, is just kind.
So, it wasn't a gift. He came from the Apple store because his phone had got broken or something like that. So, he went from the Apple store to the hotel. But this story is so long, like, oh my gosh. All right, let me just get into it. Okay. First of all, that video of us in that hotel happened about, I guess, like 4 years ago. Yeah, I think it's like 4 years ago, yeah. And around that time, me and him, we lived together.
Past my window. My bedroom was on the first floor. So I told my dad about it, and he put cameras outside. Well, Mac's older brother told me that Mac was always interested in my life. So me being a smart-ass bitch, I told his older brother that our cameras didn't work, like for part 3. Part 3 about the boy that lived across the street who used to stalk me. So like I said, I told his older brother that our cameras didn't work anymore, knowing that he would tell Mac. Because he had it in his head for some reason that Mac wasn't obsessed with me. And the reason why I told him our cameras didn't work was because Mac was watching while the cameras were being set up.
So the school day started out normal and everything was fine. I was going to all my classes and everything seemed to be going okay. So our class comes up and we all have to go. Everything's going fine, and when we come back to the classroom, I see a little slip on my desk. The slip said it was from my teacher, obviously, and the reason for the detention was for wearing a full face of makeup. So I'm just kind of sitting there like, what the frick? I'm not, like, I literally don't wear anything to school because it's not allowed, obviously.
I was kind of like down in the dumps, like, what the fuck? So I asked her, and she said that he was helping her with her dress because the zipper got stuck. So I was like, I could have helped you with that, but okay. So like, 2018, when like doing people's streaks was a thing, I did Erica's, so I still have her password saved. So I logged in to her Snapchat and asked him if he wanted to do fun things.
There is no reason for you to comment on my video those vulgar things. Like, it's not necessary. You shouldn't be being mean to random people on the internet. It just makes you look miserable and it makes you look bad. So, FYI, if you comment something mean on my video, I'm going to delete it. Take that how you must.
I'm gonna try to not say like a lot in this video, but also it's just the way I've talked for my whole entire life. Like I can't.
To which I very just simply told him no, I could feed myself, it was fine. And like I'm saying, the date didn't go that badly. But then the next day, I didn't call him back right away. I didn't talk to him right away. And I had like 15 missed FaceTime calls. And so finally, I call him back, and Buddy has a puppy. I didn't go back to his house, had no idea where he even lived. And I was like, oh, cool, I didn't know you had a dog. And he goes, no, I bought us a puppy. So, first